The beloved community is a term created by philosopher-theologian Josiah Royce, but popularized by Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr., who stated, "The end is reconciliation, the end is redemption, the end is the creation of the beloved community. The greatness of a community is most accurately measured by the compassionate actions of its members." Good morning. I'm Sue Curtis, a member of this congregation and coordinator of the Pastoral Care Team. I would like just to take a moment for us to introduce ourselves. Our team consists of 3 lay pastoral ministers. I began as a lay minister, I think around 2016, I don't remember the exact year, when Reverend Sarah Person invited me to become involved in pastoral care. I was joined by Sue St. Germain in 2020 and Dave Kramer in 2021. Sue and Dave joined the team bringing the gifts of enthusiasm, a wealth of history within our community, and a deep and caring presence. In 2021, we decided that the team would function more efficiently if we had a person to coordinate parish care needs, including meals, errands, transportation, and any special things that a parishioner might need help with on a temporary basis. We needed somebody who was good at organizing and keeping track of things and us. Mel Marvel came to our rescue in August of 2021. And with her help and experience with Excel spreadsheets, we felt that we finally had an organizational structure and a way of keeping track of what we were doing individually and collectively. And finally, in September of 2022, Reverend Peter Connolly joined us. We acknowledge and are grateful for his direction and guidance, especially for his steadfast support of all our efforts. Thank you, Reverend Peter. This morning, members of our team will talk to you about different aspects of the journey that has taken us to where we are today, both on a personal level and on a congregational level. To help you understand a little bit about that evolution, I would like to share briefly a series of dreams that I had shortly after I became part of the pastoral care ministry. Dreams are interesting. It is said that Einstein's theory of relativity came to him in a dream about cows. Yep, cows. My dreams were not that dramatic, but I do believe that dreams reflect back to us the things that are on our mind. Sometimes they teach us something about ourselves. Sometimes they help us solve problems, and sometimes they make absolutely no sense at all. I have to admit that a lot of my dreams fall into that latter category. But these dreams that I share with you this morning left little doubt about what was occupying space in my mind when I came into pastoral care work. My first dream took place at night in a very dark field. There were a lot of people there. They all seemed to know each other. And although people looked familiar to me, I didn't really know them. Reverend Sarah was there. She was keeping pretty busy speaking to people and moving around, but I kept losing track of her. I wandered around bumping into people, feeling confused and a little lost. There was a sense of anticipation, as if people were waiting for something to happen. Perhaps a service was about to start, but I was literally in the dark. I had no experience of navigating in the dark, and although I was highly motivated, I didn't really know what I was supposed to do. Well, that was off to an auspicious start, I thought to myself the next morning as I thought about my dream. My second dream occurred a few days later. In this dream, I knew that I had been charged with nurturing people. To me, that meant food. Thank you for setting that one up, Michael. I appreciate it. And my dream ego believed that my task was to feed a large number of people. So I set off in search of food. I opened cabinets, I opened cupboards, but found nothing that I could use to put a meal together. This isn't going so well, I thought to myself as I investigated the last empty cabinet in a storage room. That was when I heard singing. Following the sound of voices, I came to a kitchen where a group of women were preparing a meal. They were singing as they chopped, diced, and stirred, and they were having a great time. They were enjoying each other's company and getting a lot done at the same time. It was clear to me that this was a group of people who knew a lot more about putting meals together than I did. So I awoke the next morning still confused about what I was supposed to do in this thing called pastoral care. In the third dream, I was still looking for the food I was supposed to be preparing, and this time I found myself in the sanctuary of the church. The sun shining through a casement window on a second level caused me to look up, and I noticed that the choir loft had magically appeared up here on a second level. Imagine. That's where the food is, I thought to myself. I've looked every place else. All I have to do is get up there, pick up the food, and we're good to go. Unfortunately, as is often the case in dreams, there was no logical way to get there. It seemed that the only way I could get up was by means of climbing a rope ladder that extended from the choir loft and ended right about there. Think of it, a rope ladder swinging right there. I would have felt a little better about it if the rope had been anchored to something, but it was swinging idly, daring me to climb it. Gingerly, I grabbed a hold of the rope and started the long climb. My body weight started the rope swinging wildly from side to side. It was quite a ride. I hung on for dear life, but eventually I made my way to the top and climbed into the choir loft. No luck, no food, but a beautiful view of the church from a different perspective, a bigger picture, so to speak. The only way down was to reverse the way I got up. But this time I enjoyed the ride thoroughly, and I saw all kinds of things that I was too occupied to notice on my way up. So what do I think these dreams teach me about myself and pastoral care? The first dream took me through the process of not knowing, feeling uncomfortable and unsure. Many endeavors start in this mind space. The second dream showed me a little bit about what worked. I learned that this was a place that already knew how to take care of its own. I don't want to mess with what's already working. And since I had spent so much time in my first dream bumping into people, I had no desire to step on any toes as I got to know people in the daylight. In the third dream, I understood from the expanded view from the loft that I would best serve by looking at pastoral care through a wider lens. I didn't have to do it all myself. There were so many people willing to help. I came to understand that pastoral care includes the traditional activities related to helping others, like meals, rides, and errands. And in that sense, as a congregation, we are all members of the Pastoral Care Team. But the more expanded view is one of showing caring through connection, which can take the form of visits, phone calls, emails, letters. Imagine, if you will, how when you were dealing with the challenges of grief or even wanting to share joy, how different you might feel if you had someone who was interested in you, respected your physical and spiritual needs, cared about your distress, was part of your church community, and would hold your situation in strict confidence. Someone who had the time to listen, to hear all that you wanted to say, the whole way through, without finishing your thoughts for you or interrupting you. This is the ministry that we are committed to creating. It is a ministry of presence that provides a safe place to talk about feelings and challenges for as long or short a time as you feel you need. It is a ministry of the gift of time and attention. It is the ministry of the beloved community. We attempt to reach out to people in this spirit. We hope that you will let us know if you have a pastoral care need so that we can support you, or if you know of a situation where we can be helpful. We can't help if we don't know your needs. Thank you. And now Sue St. Germain will talk to you about her journey in pastoral care.
Good morning. My words today reflect a personal journey that I want to share. Why does my participation in the Pastoral Care Team mean a lot to me? My journey has been a long process. I was raised in California by agnostic parents. My husband, Ray, was raised Catholic and attended Catholic schools in this area. We met while teaching in Hawaii in 1969. In 1983, we moved to Massachusetts after a few years of living in Northern California. My teacher colleague in Brockton schools and a Rainham friend, Lee Alexander, passed away, and I attended her funeral in this church in January 1985. I was very moved by the genuine service, especially when we stood around the edges of the sanctuary and sang, "We will never forget you, we will never forsake you." I picked up the brochure about UU beliefs, and I thought, let's give this a try. Then I had a talk with Reverend Herdklotz. I thought we could relate to the principles, even though we came from such different backgrounds. Over the course of 37 years in this congregation, I realized this is my continually evolving spiritual home. But more than that, my connections with people have enriched my life and made me want to give back. I did this in many ways, serving on church committees and participating in many activities. I was on the parish committee several years, membership committee, adult education chairperson, and for the last 2.5 years on the pastoral care team. Among my fondest memories were the few years that Reverend Elizabeth Tarbox asked me to be on the Ministerial Relations Committee because of her trust and our small team of 3 people to listen to her concerns and to seek feedback. I like to listen to people. I think I gain trust to keep information that is confidential to myself. Also, very importantly, members of this church committee have given me support when I needed it. I think we all have those passages in our lives. It was nice to get a card or a phone call or a little chat at coffee hour. So, to sum up my desire to be on the care team, I say it has enriched my life. I am happy to send a thinking of you or a get well card, or to send out an email letting someone know that he or she is in my thoughts. When asked by some of you, I follow up with contacts that can help you deal with issues that you find difficult to handle alone. I don't try to solve problems, but I can listen and reach out when appropriate. I continue my thoughts by sharing a meditation by Reverend Elizabeth Tarbox. It is in her Life Tides meditation book, a great book, and is entitled The Unaccompanied Mile. Here it is. When I see you with worry on your brow and shadows in your eyes, and I say to you, "What's up?" Remind me gently that I was not there when you made that journey to the center of your soul. Tell me as kindly as you can that I am sleeping when night clutches at you, and you are driven to a place in your heart which is ever night. Do not let me say, don't worry, when worry is all you know, and it feels as if worry is all you'll ever know. For none of us ever really walks in another's shoes or knows the innermost rooms of another's heart. None of us truly knows the lonely places of another's journey or the causes of the lines around another's eyes. Therefore, let us be gentle with one another. Let us listen more than we speak and accept more than we judge. Let our open, outstretched hands reach and touch, that we may walk along together for a little while in friendship and in trust. I think that Reverend Tarbox captured my feelings. I am happy to listen, to show genuine concern, and to participate with this great care team in ways that let you know we care. Thank you.
In August of 2021, I got a call from Reverend Sarah Person. She was calling to talk to me about a newly created job description at church called Parish Care Coordinator. The job would be coordinating with Julie Gould, Meals Coordinator, Mark McQueen, Rides Coordinator, and Val Fontaine, Caring Choir Coordinator. Julie is also the point person for prayer shawls and baby blankets. Julie, Mark, and Val are three of several of the backbones of parish care in this church, and we acknowledge and thank them all very much. And Mark is back there, and Julie is right here in the front. According to the job description, the parish care coordinator would review and systematize the activities of caring volunteers and track services provided, and attend weekly meetings with the minister and members of the Pastoral Care Team. I was surprised that she thought of me, and I had a lot of misgivings. I didn't think I was the right person. My partner Helen and I don't live in Middleboro. We live 30 minutes away in Plymouth. I'm a bit reserved, and I wasn't sure I was ready to get engaged in church life. I had just fully retired and was looking forward to the freedom to do whatever I wanted with my time. However, I fell in love with this church the first time Helen and I came here for Soulful Sanctuary in February of 2019. Barry and Patty Simon, along with their musical friends, the church musicians and singers from Susan Hotchkiss's Chalice Choir, created a most soulful and magical service. The parishioners were so warm and friendly. The whole package, the sanctuary, the minister, the music director, the choir, the people, everything seemed to be a great fit for us. We found our spiritual home here ever since. I know that a church thrives and survives when everyone shares their gifts of time and treasure. If we were going to attend services here, I felt a responsibility to get involved. This was an opportunity to do my part. So with some trepidation, I said I'd try out the job. It's very scary to be an outsider. This beloved church community has been together for so many years, decades in some cases. What will they think about me filling this role? They don't know me, and I don't know them, and they know that I don't know them. Do we really need a parish care coordinator? So many questions, so much to learn. Helen and I had been attending services for exactly a year when COVID shut our sanctuary doors in March 2020. I have to say that services on Zoom during COVID proved to be a blessing in disguise, as it expedited the process of my getting to know the parishioners. I could match the faces in the little Zoom boxes with the names in our church directory. I've been attending and collecting data for the pastoral care meetings since August of 2021, a total of 82 weeks now, of which we met 78 times. And Reverend Peter joined the team in September of 2022. As I reviewed the directory, I discovered that many parishioners live outside of Middleboro. Of the 89 households listed in our directory, 54% live outside of Middleboro, spread out over 23 towns, Royalston to Falmouth. There is one family each from Rhode Island, Connecticut, Virginia, Vermont, and Florida. As Julie told me right at the beginning, it will never be perfect. Whoops, sorry. The Parish Care Coordinator is a work in progress. I track the team's activities in a spreadsheet, which I share with the team and the minister. Team members check in on an average of 8 parishioners per week. Despite COVID restrictions through 2020 and beyond, the team members have made an average of 3 in-person visits per week to homes, nursing homes, or hospitals. The members of the team shared writing an average of 4 greeting cards per week, and we often send our own personal cards. We haven't had any requests for meals lately, but we know that you've been providing them for each other on your own. A couple of times during 2021 and 22, we found rides for people, or helped out with home projects, or delivered a prayer shawl or baby blanket. Several times per month, we gave a ride to choir rehearsal and Sunday worship services. COVID restrictions severely curbed our caring choir calendar, but we managed one in August, September, November, and December of 2022. If we know about it, the care team will respond. Now, as Julie told me right at the beginning, it will never be perfect because people in this congregation just do a lot for each other because they're friends. You'll never be able to track all the meals or the times we help each other out, she explained. That's true, and it's a beautiful thing. Just know that we are here for those who might not be as well connected, and we hope you'll reach out. In closing, I'd like to share a quote from former President Jimmy Carter, who recently entered hospice care at the age of 98. He taught Sunday school at his church in Plains, Georgia for over 40 years. It's called the Carter Challenge, and it goes like this. Do something nice for somebody who needs it. If you have someone who needs a phone call, make the phone call. If somebody needs a visit, go make that visit. I'd like to think of the Carter Challenge as a motto for the pastoral care team, adding, of course, meals, rides, baby blankets, prayer shawls, and caring choirs.